matrices.
I think teach 5 classes of freshmen.
Hardest thing I've done today was probably riding a longboard with my cousin on the back of it.
Probably this video.
I didn't have a physics test today. Nothing. What's the hardest thing you did today?
I woke up extremely early to get here to do makeups with the least motivated kids in Calhoun High School, and I had them run and exercise. So that's what I did, morning makeups.
The hardest thing I did today was take a science test.
I had to tell a student today that his SAT scores weren't good enough to get him into the college he wanted to go to.
Probably getting out of bed. It's pretty dark.
$1 billion trillion.
Yeah, I need to be famous and I need to be like wealthy and I want to help people.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
I touch. A career in architecture.
A free ride to college.
I want to be on Broadway.
Very little.
Something about children as soldiers or something. That's what I think.
Not enough to sound intelligent on camera.
The war going on in Uganda? No, I do not. I'm not aware that there's a war in Uganda going on.
Uganda, just for a scene experience?
Yeah. And do you know anything about the war going on in Uganda?
No, all I really know is that there was a war in Congo. But beyond that,
I actually have no idea, and I feel like an idiot because when I watch these documentaries and I see that people don't know what's going on, I'm like, this is stupid, but I actually have no idea what's going on.
How is Invisible Children working to bring peace to
do you want me to look at
Northern-
you or do you want me to look at
the camera?
So I don't edit that out. You can edit that out, right?
Well, in Uganda, and this did start, approximately a decade ago.
Now, Mr. Elias said a decade ago, but it's definitely more than a decade ago. It was like 20, 30 years ago.
Joseph Kony and the Lord's Resistance Army began indoctrinating young people through, I should say, violently indoctrinating young people in northern Uganda.
Joseph Kony believes that he's leading this rebel group where he's abducting child soldiers and forcing them to serve in his army.
Children were taken from their beds at night, from their parents' houses, and brought either into the military of his resistance army or dispatched and killed immediately.
Joseph Kony is leading the LRA, the Lord's Resistance Army, and he is right now actively postponing a peace. There are peace talks between both sides, and Kony's refusing to sign the peace agreement. He's kind of the unfortunate ringleader of this terrorist group.
They believe that when you use the Holy Spirit, the bullets cannot penetrate you. You just smear yourself with oil. You use stones can explode by like bombs through the power of God.
Indoctrination to the fighters that to make them believe that once you smear yourself with a share oil,
the bullets wouldn't harm them. If a soldier was killed, it was actually perceived that they had been unclean or they had somehow disobeyed the orders of the Spirit.
It's the wrong time for somebody new. It's a small cry, and I got no excuse. And is that alright? Yeah. Give my gun away when it's loaded. That alright? Yeah. If you don't shoot it, how am I supposed to hold it? That alright? Loaded, that alright? Yeah, with you.
Leave me out with the waste. This is not what I do. It's the wrong kind of place to be cheating on you. It's the wrong time she's pulling me through. It's a small crime, and I got no excuse. And is that alright? Yeah. Give my gun away when it's loaded. Is that alright? Yeah. You don't shoot it. How am I supposed to hold it? Is that alright? Give my gun away when it's loaded. Is that alright? Is that alright with you? Is that alright, yeah? Give my gun away when it's loaded. Is that alright, yeah? You don't shoot it, how am I supposed to?
Do you think if you go there, you cannot forget about us? That's why you say that. Maybe you will also going to forget about us. But you have a tell. If after 1 month you can go and remember about us right away.
Is that alright? Is that alright? Is that alright with you? No.
It's okay. Jacob, it's okay.
Absolute destruction of Ugandan schools because of Joseph Kony and the LRA happened over those years, and what was once an educated population is now no longer not only educated, but no longer do they have schools, no longer do they have homes.
A tremendous lack of supplies. The civil war that he has waged in northern Uganda has led to the destruction of schools, farms, resources.
Tyler Mutarelli, to the registrar, please. Tyler Mutarelli.
Tyler has nothing to do with it. It's led to devastation, the killing of children.
Who are the invisible children? They are the night walkers, the kids that left their beds at night to go to these camps, these not only camps, IDP camps that they set up, but also places where they could have some salvation at night and live and not be taken by the LRA. So they would walk through the night, and then in the morning, they'd get back up and walk back home so they wouldn't be kidnapped by the LRA.
What the people of northern Uganda want is a return to normalcy. Unfortunately, like I said, there's over a generation of people that don't know what normal is. So how do you provide that for people? How do you teach them what normal is?
Going to change what's going on in northern Uganda, one school at a time, one child at a time. And they really have, and they are now a ground force here in America, and they've raised, just for Schools, which we're a part of, over $3 million over the last 2 years, and hopefully another $1.5 million this year.
And I think that's really what Invisible Children is doing, hands-on, ground-level work to help them rebuild the infrastructure that's necessary to establish normalcy, schools, irrigation, water supply, all of those things, and providing a stable foundation of education, which I think is tremendously important.
Well, over the last 3 years, Calhoun has raised, I guess we're up to about $33,000 right now for the Invisible Children, which has gone directly to the Atanga Secondary School in Uganda. We've seen them get books, we've seen them get a structure, we've seen them have clean water, we've seen them get technology, we've seen them get teachers. Here we've done, I would say, at least 10 to 15 different types of fundraisers, from simple things like t-shirts and bracelets to displacing Joe Ballou a couple years ago went to a showcase, to our famous fashion show now, which we're now going to be in our 3rd year. And this year, obviously, we're doing something really exciting, which Ms. Chelsea Lawrence and Rachel Hendricks are directing, which is our Displace Me Senior Sleeping.
Well, tonight we're raising money. That's the children from Uganda calling.
It's sponsoring Invisible Children and Schools for Schools. We're trying to raise as much money as we can.
Money for the children of northern Uganda whose schools have been destroyed by war. We're rebuilding the Atanga Secondary School in northern Uganda, and right now we're working towards getting teachers and books for the school because they still need all those resources.
We're gonna express the idea of displacement and displacement.
One thing that Matt said that stuck in my mind is that if you give $1, that feeds a Ugandan person for a day. So in our lives, $1 is the difference between a medium and a large drink at Starbucks. So let's just say one day you just take a medium instead of a large. You're feeding a Ugandan child for a whole day.
As bad as our life seems, theirs is even worse. So I hope that you guys have a good time and everything, but remember that we're here for the kids of northern Uganda.
This is Survivor Uganda.